Do not travel to Iceland. If anybody lives in Iceland, be prepared for major volcano.
Well, whether it's hot, whether it's cold, whether it's hot, Frankie's got the weather we got. Wait a minute. Well, whether it's cold, whether it's hot, Frankie's got the weather, whether or not. There it is.
Good morning, Prince George, and good afternoon, Winnipeg. Hello, Kamloops. Hello, Vancouver Island, Victoria friends. Watching us on Shaw Spotlight. This is the Comedeorological Report. I am Joey Only, the host up here in Wells, British Columbia, where we seem to be having a down snow year here at 4,000 feet above sea level, 53 degrees north. We're generally full of snow by now. We do have some snow. We snowed a good chunk finally last night. We got a good bit of snow, but snow is down. Snow is down, and I'm concerned with the El Nino that we're going to have a bad snow year, that we're going to have drier drought conditions next year. We're going to have another wildfire season worth talking about. So that's what I'm on about this week. You're listening to us on CFUR 88.7 in Prince George, CKUW 95.9, Winnipeg 925, CFBX, Kamloops, and Shaw Spotlight Television. Thank you on Vancouver Island. Tonight on the panel, Comedeorological panel, the regulars are all here. That's right. Well, of course, we got the man himself, the world-famous Frankie MacDonald, who's out in Sydney, Nova Scotia. He's the one who... everybody knows him. He's the most famous weatherman in the whole world. He's the most popular, wonderful, and we love him. Frankie MacDonald. He's going to be with us first to start the show. We got, as always, our weather specialist, Brandon Hauk. He's a radio man down there in Brooks, Alberta. He's got the night off. He was going to go to wrestling tonight, but he decided that we are more interesting than wrestling, so he's here instead. And
we really are.
Thank you.
We appreciate it, but we're not better than wrestling. You should be at wrestling.
No, I'm better than wrestling, because I'm real. Yeah.
See,
that's
wrestling's real to me, man.
Imogen Cookie Bailey. Wrestling is real to her down there in Victoria, British Columbia. We do. I have some clips of. I'm pretty sure Imogen at wrestling.
All right, the lights have just gone down. We're coming back from intermission at 365 Pro Wrestling. They run a wrestling academy somewhere around here. I don't bloody well know. Anyhow, the weather outside is horrific, icy, 0 degrees, things are freezing over, and everyone here is snacker.
Hilding Donaldson, he's out there in Grassy Plains, British Columbia. You never heard of it? Grassy Plains? You're like, yeah, right, there's a place called Grassy Plains in BC. Not Bald Mountain or something. No, Grassy Plains, it's a real place. It's south of Burns Lake, near Francois Lakes area. He's the cowboy. He's here with us as well. Anyways, I'm Joey Only, your host. And time to get to things right now.
Frankie, the weatherman. Frankie, the weatherman. Who? Frankie.
Frankie MacDonald, how you doing so far this week, buddy?
I'm doing great so far. And it was heavy rain in Sydney, Nova Scotia, flooded Townsend Street. They had to close the Steel City in Sydney, Nova Scotia tonight because of flooded areas. That's where I did karaoke last night. And did you hear about this? They had a big flood in Townsend Street in Sydney, Nova Scotia. They had flooding conditions there. The rain was so heavy today. Brought a lot of heavy rain in Sydney, Nova Scotia today. There's another one headed for Monday evening in Sydney, Nova Scotia once again. It's going to be colder than average temperatures in Wyoming right now, where Sean is at right now.
Yeah, flooding in Halifax, East Hants, West Hants, as well as the counties of Lunenburg and Queens. 300 millimeters of rain fell in the province. Is that true, Frankie?
Yes, lots of rain in Halifax right now.
My goodness. That's crazy. What else, Frankie? What's going on?
I'm doing great so far. There's lots of snow going on in Wyoming and Colorado, heading towards Colorado. It's going to turn really cold. There's an Arctic high pressure system all across British Columbia as of right now. It's like an Arctic high pressure system and up around Saskatchewan, Canada as of right now. Then it got snow heading for Colorado and parts of Utah and those places and parts of Colorado and things like this. Then it's got cold air going all the way down to parts of New Mexico and things like this all the way down to southeastern United States as of right now. Then it got really stormy weather all across eastern United States next week, all across North America, all across the East Coast of the United States. Going to bring lots of rain and wind all across the East Coast of the United States once again. Down South America and rain, lots of rain going on in South America right now. Thunderstorms and rain in Brazil, Venezuela, Colombia, Peru, Ecuador, Bolivia, and those places as of right now. And lots of rain and thunderstorms in lots of heavy rain and high winds in coastal areas of Chile, and snow up in the mountains in southern Chile, including northern Peru. Is really high winds and heavy rain, really high winds and sandstorms in northern Chile right now in southern Peru. There's cold air heading for England, eastern England, and in Ireland. Weather in Ireland's going to bring lots of cold weather in Ireland, like Dublin, Ireland. Really warm weather in Spain right now. Then you got a whole lot of rain and snow all across Greece, Albania, Bosnia, Croatia, and those places up around somewhere in Europe, around the places like over in Albania. Those places are getting some snow there right now. In Greece, even going to get snow. And they got a big storm heading for parts of Ukraine right now, where Michael Senikov is at. Big storm somewhere in Ukraine right now. It's going to intensify off of Crimea and things like this.
Hey, guess what, Frankie?
Yeah.
Your dad showed up. Frank
Okay,
MacDonald
we'll
Sr.'s
be
here.
talking about the SoundCloud. And did you hear about this? Later next week, possible, there's a big storm headed for England once again. And over in places like in Japan and South Korea and those places. Really cold air going on in Sapporo, Japan. And snow showers up in Sapporo, Japan. And cold air in northern Japan right now. In South Korea, got cold weather right now as well. And Hong Kong is really warm in Hong Kong right now. And Mongolia is really, really cold right now. Lots of thunderstorms are in the Philippines and parts of Cambodia, Thailand, and all these places, including places in Indonesia and those places as of right now. And down in northern Africa, India's monsoon season in India came to an end. There's Nigeria and Ghana, and those places are getting into dry season right now. Down around places like in southern Africa, weather there is lots of rain going on in Congo, DR Congo, Uganda, Kenya, and those places, and parts of Botswana. Then in South Africa, lots of weather, dry weather in South Africa right now because their summer's coming up. Lots of hot weather, La Reunion with showers, and Mauritius Islands and Madagascar, Mozambique, and all these places as well. Down in Australia, New Zealand, lots of rain going on in eastern Australia. Then they got a storm head for New Zealand right now. Change the showers in North Island, New Zealand, and those places as of right now. Even Antarctica's 24-hour daylight. It's dark 24 hours a day up above the Arctic Circle, especially up in northern Norway. And they had an earthquake somewhere in the world.
Right on, Frankie. Good work, good work. So your dad's here, Frank MacDonald Sr.
He's talking about the SoundCloud and new ideas about the music.
It's good to see you, Frank Sr.
Nice to be here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. Been a while since we've seen you. So Christmas season's
Yes.
coming up. What kind of things would you and Frankie do for Christmas in the past?
Oh, just go for a drive, look at lights, possibly dream of Christmas monsters. Who knows when we were young and foolish, right? But I'm still amazed at how Frankie remembers all those things that he just said.
What kind of new songs you been working on lately?
Well, I got into a bit of brain freeze for a while, as you do that when you're trying to create, but seems to be coming around a bit now. So kind of on a funky, bluesy, rock and roll sort of mode, trying to combine it all together and make some kind of original sound, I guess is what it's all about.
I'm just looking up Frankie's newest videos this week. Have you seen Frankie's new videos this week?
I don't know. He usually sends me the links, but sometimes he doesn't. And I'm so busy working on this music all the time, I don't see a lot. But if he sends me anything, I certainly watch it.
We got some good ones this week. What kind of videos did you make this week, Frankie?
Sortron is one that's a good idea. I first made that one in 2011.
I love Zorktron.
And another thing I did, the guy acted like a cat. I did the first one back in 2017 on my YouTube channel.
So, are you guys all ready? Everyone want to see a guy acting like a cat?
Yeah.
That'd be a pretty,
Absolutely.
a
I want to see
pretty
Cat
big
Frankie.
My God. What's wrong with that cat?
I told it doesn't grow fangs.
Like half cat, half baby.
A monster.
I think we need a priest. The dude's totally
It's a
possessed.
monster.
Thanks for watching, Frank Down.
Yeah, Frankie. Now we know what it's like when Frankie's in heat.
That's for American Thanksgiving. Okay, guys, let's do a guy acting like a turkey. Gobble, 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 gobble.
Obviously, the president's not going to pardon this turkey, is he?
Gobble, gobble, gobble.
Happy Thanksgiving, our American friends.
Gobble, gobble, gobble. Gobble, gobble, thanks for watching, Frank Down.
Oh, boy.
You know, I'll be honest. I didn't know a turkey could have an accent.
Guess who's back? Sortron. I've been traveling to Andromeda Galaxy, M33 Galaxy. I've been traveling to Pluto. I've been traveling to other dwarf planets and other galaxies. I've been traveling to other galaxies far, far away. Been to M33 Galaxy. I got other planets to go to. Sortron is great so far. I'm doing great. I have to travel to other planets, moons, things like this. And dwarf planets, I gotta travel all across to other galaxies and other universes, things like this. Sortron has returned. I'm doing great so far. That's a message for Sortron. Things are going good, all you guys. From Sortron.
Oh, no.
I am Orange Man. Guess who's back? Orange Man.
The Orange
is
Man.
here. Guess what? I did the first video of Orange Man back in November 2011. The Orange Man is back. I'm the Orange Man. The Orange Man's here. I'm doing great so far. The Orange Man is here. The Orange Man has returned. I'm the Orange Man. I'm coming to you. The Orange Man is here. The Orange Man. The Orange Man.
And look at the scary tree in the background. It's perfect.
The Orange Man. I'm the Orange Man. Guess who's back? The Orange Man.
Guess he's back. The Orange Man.
The Orange Man. The Orange Man is here.
Oh, he's going to reveal his true identity. No.
The Orange Man is here. I'm the Orange Man. I'm doing good so far. The Orange Man's here. I am Orange Man. Oh, the Orange Man. The Orange Man. The Orange Man. The Orange Man's here. I'm the Orange Man.
Well, you're hilarious, Frankie MacDonald.
I did the first one, the Orange Man, back in October 2011.
Yeah. That's great.
That's a long time ago. 12
That's
years
really
ago.
good. That's fantastic, man. That's great work.
How many plays on your latest song to find freedom? How many plays you got on your latest song to find freedom?
Well, we're getting there. I don't know, over 1,000 now. It's getting there. Why did you promote it again? I only get a lot of plays when my son promotes me, by the way.
Well, nothing wrong with that.
No, that's all right, man. You know, I'm doing what I want to do right now. So
And sometime I'm going to make you sing us a song.
hey, well, you know, it could happen. Once I could figure out how to make it happen, like technically, you know,
Yeah.
I had trouble, honestly, figuring out how to get the audio and video on for this this feed, right? Because I had to disconnect my studio and just use the laptop.
For example, if I try to do a tornado siren right now, let's all do the tornado siren.
I see what you mean.
And it peaks out. And you can't.
Oh. I think though I should be able to put it through the audio module I'm using for the studio.
Like,
And,
we're
put
gonna
it
figure this out sometime.
directly in.
We're gonna figure this out.
I'll figure it out. Yeah, I'll just have to research it. It's not going to be too complicated. I just haven't looked into that part of it, right? But do you know if I could just put the electric in directly through my, my module, then I'd be ready.
Probably easier to use an acoustic.
Yeah, I do have the acoustic. I'd have to buff up on that because I haven't played it. Actually, I don't play it in here because I live in low-income seniors home.
Right. Yeah.
And then they'll think it's a giant kitchen party. So it's
Yeah.
there's a lot of characters. There's a lot of characters I don't want knocking on my door. Trust me.
I do have a little bit of the benefit of not having close neighbors. I do have people in the building, but they don't care.
That's the answer, right? They don't care, but
if they can even hear me, because Josh's place is like several halls, and this place. So this used to be the lumber depot for Caribou Gold Quartz back in the 1930s.
Oh,
so what they would do was they would drive a truck through the building and load it with lumber. So it's a big barn-shaped building. It's 3 stories high. It's like 11,000 plus square feet of floor. And it's a rundown old, terrible building, dilapidated, and was condemnable when we got it. But slowly over the years, we've tightened up the nuts and bolts, and we've made it. The Outlaw Mountain Lodge is pretty cool now. It's pretty cool. It was always pretty cool, actually.
That's right, man. It's
nobody's got a place like this. Trust me.
No, I believe you, man. It's nice to have something different, like or something that you feel good in, right?
I just want to sit on my drum kit and play as loud as I want at 10:30 at night. No one's gonna.
Oh, how I remember those days! I bet you my son remember.
Josh will be playing computer games till 3 a.m. He doesn't care.
Yeah, my son will remember those days of me hammering drums and him probably running around plugging his ears. Right?
Is this your friend Sean that's coming in, Frankie?
Yes.
From Wyoming. Okay.
How's the weather in Wyoming?
He's not ready yet, but we'll meet Sean in a second. I want to keep it the flow and get to Brandon Houck quickly. Not quickly, but quickly get to Brandon Houck, because we got to talk about Western Canada weather and the lack thereof.
The Brandon Houck Report.
Oh, hi. This is the Brandon Houck Report.
Yes, lack of weather over the next. I'm just trying to get my share screen going here, because everybody likes when I'm sharing the wrong screen.
Hey, do you think you get your share screen going for us?
Yeah, I should do that, eh? Like, I should get that together right now. Like,
I love when I ask for it and you just do it.
I know, it's just like magic, isn't it? And now we're just going black. Oh boy, what have I done? Okay, there we go. All right, we've got it.
Still black. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay. So we've got this week. It was very warm to start the week here. We were seeing temperatures in double digits last weekend, and this start of this week, we saw temperatures reach 17 degrees right here in southern Alberta. Absolutely gorgeous westerly flow, Chinook conditions. Tuesday is a really good Chinook, and then all of a sudden, yesterday we got the snow. Well, not a lot of snow, more like a trace in our neck of the woods, more so 10 centimeters in Banff, 30 centimeters up at the ski resorts there. Up in higher elevations. Here.
Oh yeah. So that has been the situation there. It is not 14 degrees right now in Walker Lake, Manitoba. So you could ignore that. So I don't know. Somebody's probably had a few many tatas there. And
at least it's not minus 73 in the Chilcotin at Big Bar anymore.
No, look at that. That's gone now, but it's minus 14 in Regina. Now minus 15. Look at that. Temperature's just gone down in Regina at this hour. So yeah,
Regina steadily getting crappier.
I know. Experience Regina.
Oh. No, I have.
So we're at about -2 now here in our neck of the woods. And we're going to move you over.
Hey, we got
here.
the same temperature maybe going on, eh?
Yeah, we are about the same temperature, -1, -2.
It's like every week, man.
Oh yeah, the remnants of this storm here. This has been the big player. This has been the big story this week. Has been this storm over Nunavut, where they've had 3 days of a blizzard, and today it's finally ended. Winds gusted to 120 kilometers an hour at Baker Lake, Arviat, Rankin Inlet. So there's been some damage reported. Power outages. A lot of these communities are without power. And 3 days of a blizzard. So they're the only way to get around is by snowmobile, and it's been a wild go in the territories. It looks like Joe
Stover must have got slammed up there in Churchill. I wonder where he's been. We haven't seen Joe in a while.
Well,
Polar bear season's over. He should be back on the show with us.
With a play dead. No, polar bears eat dead things to go.
Would you say that they're breeding like rabbits?
I would say both literally and figuratively. I think you can say
Honk.
that's my kind of goose.
yeah. Well, I
Someone
think
bug that
Churchill
guy.
actually they missed out on the snow and the blowing snow, so they just got all the wind gusting 90 kilometers an hour for the last 3 days. So still gusting 61 at Churchill right now. So that wind has decreased after 3 days of gusting over 90 but still, they were very lucky in Churchill. They missed out on the whole blizzard and the storm and everything. So that's what Joe told me there today on the Twitter, or actually Facebook there. So yeah, it's been a while ago with that storm. And now we're keeping an eye on high pressure. That's going to be dominating through the weekend into next week. And we do have a couple systems sliding through. So tomorrow will be pretty decent across the prairies. And then Saturday is going to be the day where we've got this little system here, and it's going to move you guys over there. So you guys are in my way. So we've got this system slumping to the south that's going to produce a cold front there. That's going to ramp up the snow. So some areas might get at least maybe 5-10 centimeters of snow across Saskatchewan and Manitoba. And the winds are going to crank up here on Saturday, gusting anywhere from 50 to 60 kilometers an hour across Alberta and Saskatchewan. So a blustery day, but still warm in Alberta. Meanwhile, we're going to stay on the cold side for both Saskatchewan and Manitoba until we get into early next week when this ridge of high pressure really starts to dominate, keeping the storm track to the north. So we're going to see some cold stuff over Churchill Monday into Tuesday, and then eventually that warmer air working its way across the southern prairies for the early stages of next week. And looks like as probably we're going to hold on to this pattern right on into December here by the looks of things. So
yeah, it seems to me sometime was the first week of December we started seeing some weather stories looking more for the west.
Oh yeah, so that's definitely something we'll keep an eye on as we go well into the as they say, the longer term forecast there. Now a couple of stories that I've shared with you this week. First off, dude in Halifax here, he is trying to break a world record. And last Saturday, he went out into the rain, the pouring rain that occurred in Nova Scotia there. And he decided to eat while there was a crowd of people watching him. And I think the police were there too. I think he was at a park or near a cemetery or something like that. But he decided to chow down on 3.5 pounds of potato salad. Wasn't that delicious?
It's it's like there's nothing sacred anymore. It's like, oh, it's a world record. I mean, it used to be a world record was like you were covered in bees, or you had fingernails that were 18 feet long. Okay, a world record is like when you're Robert Wadlow and you're 6 foot friggin' you're 9'6". Okay, that's a world record. Sitting down and doing something disgusting in a park in Halifax in the rain does not make you a legitimate world record holder of any kind. There's no medal for that.
It makes you ill.
It's just going to make you ill.
Yeah,
That's right.
And
was it homemade potato salad, or was it the buckets of potato salad?
Oh, it was an ice cream pail full of potato salad. My goodness.
An ice cream pail.
You pour it out and it's liquid, and then the rain hits it.
Oh yeah, out in the rain.
Must have went down easy. He drank it.
Pretty much.
That is appalling. That's the word.
Yeah.
It's appalling. It's a reprehensible thing.
I mean, when I seen the thing going around, everyone's posting it. It's like world record. God, I was just like, come on, like, you got to do something that's actually Like, all he did was sit down and eat 3.5 pounds of potato salad. I mean, that's disgusting, sure, but it's not like he climbed Everest the fastest or
No,
scored the most goals in an NHL season or something. You know what I'm saying?
that's
He's
right.
just a disgusting guy who ate potato salad.
All
And
right.
if you can eat 3.6 pounds of it, then you get to be the world record holder too. So yeah, we got a guest who I've never met before. Frankie's friend Sean from Wyoming. I know nothing about you. I don't know your last name. I don't
Hey,
know.
Sean, that was the weather in Wyoming.
So, yeah, I've heard about your show. I've checked out your channel. I know we're all interested in meteorology, but I've known Frankie for a little while. I think I've been talking with him off and on for about 3 to 4 years or so. He's a really nice guy, but I think Frankie wanted me on the show because of just kind of the stuff that's going on. I'm originally from Wyoming, and a lot of the weather coming from Canada right now is affecting the weather down here. And I would say you guys are the ones that are for the blame for why it's getting cold.
I
That's
did
for
make
sure.
a video, a forecast video this week, and put it on my YouTube, and it said the title. You know, it said, "You can thank us later, America."
Yeah. I I drove through those conditions today from Colorado to Wyoming. It was pretty rough, but from the reports around, it's basically central southern Wyoming where they reported last night of 50-mile-per-hour winds, 50, more than 50-mile-per-hour winds, which is pretty normal for those areas. Kind of Wyoming is kind of a wind tunnel, that's for sure. I've definitely seen my fair share of rough weather in Wyoming, but when it comes to the next few days, the National Weather Service reported on basically about, I would say, 7 to 8 inches of snow, I would say, added up to Tuesday. Participation with some of the days to be 100%. Trying to remember everything, but the conditions are really bad for the roads along Interstate 25. Very dangerous road down here. Definitely had fair share of crashes on that road. So when the National Weather Service says to be careful of the roads, it's definitely something people here have to take seriously.
Yeah, certainly. What I don't like, we haven't really gotten into a stable winter yet. I mean, it's basically stayed below zero up here at the top of the mountain, but as you go down into Quesnel, you drop 2,500 feet to go down to the city. You're coming into areas where the road thaws and freezes every day, and it's very wet as you're heading into town at 3 in the afternoon. You come back at 4:35, and it's glitter ice. And the problem at this time of year is because we haven't got and we don't have the stupendous snowfalls we're generally getting here in the BC mountains. We don't have those snowbanks to catch you when you go off the road. That's a big deal. That's a big deal.
Especially dangerous today because alongside the drive that I had today, there was a lot of freezing rain. Actually, the most freezing rain that I've seen in a long time, like my entire life living in Midwestern Wyoming. But definitely the weather also reported, which I've never seen before, and it also has to do with the abnormal weather. I haven't seen this much freezing rain, but I've also never seen -5 degrees Fahrenheit wind chill with the combined wind. With the precipitation, I've never seen that before. That's definitely blizzard-like conditions, I would say, with all those things mixed. So I'm going to be driving out in some conditions like that tomorrow. So hopefully, if people do travel through that, just have all that you need. Usually with like Frankie's reports, like everything that he says to have, it's very critical to have all the survival things that you need, food, water, all that stuff. It's very mandatory that you keep that with your car, sources of light, everything. So
Absolutely. When I leave here and drive down to town, I have 80-kilometer jaunt of nothing, and most of that has no cell service. My cell phone isn't plugged in anymore. Anyways, I don't have a data chip card in it because it's not the fire season. So every time you get on that road and you take that trip to town and you go down the mountain.
Aren't you a firefighter?
I am. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I remember I did see. I'm not sure if you know. I'm sure you do know some things about Wyoming, but we have most of the National Weather Service reports on is here is the red flag warnings. It's very dry and dangerous with the fires down here. Our fire departments do a very good job, but definitely in California, Wyoming, Montana, those areas, it's very, very dry and dangerous.
We work with Colorado Hot Shots, guys from New Mexico, guys from California. A bunch of hot shots came up here this summer because BC was ripping. It was really burning this year.
Wow. How many do you think?
Pardon me?
How many acres do you think went in flames?
Oh, I don't know. It's something crazy across Canada, something like 15 million or something, isn't it, Brandon?
Wow. And that's acres we're talking about?
Hectares. Okay.
All right. Well, I'm not going to be here for too long. I'm going to jump in, but it was nice meeting you guys. I'm completely stuffed from Thanksgiving. We're celebrating Thanksgiving in America today and tonight.
That's right. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes.
So roughly the size of North Dakota, 18.4 million hectares is what is believed to be burnt in Canada this year. And as someone was commenting on the thread here, that it's still burning up north. Oh, maybe it wasn't here, it was somewhere else. But still burning up in Hay River somewhere, Northwest Territories.
Some of the most historical, some of the worst fires in California happened in the past 3 years because there was I think it was this city of Camp that, or I'm trying to remember which city it was.
Fire.
Yeah, it burned the entire city. It completely, and that's, I think, the first time we've seen in the world in a while, a whole city being burned down.
We've had some bad ones here, like Fort McMurray, a lot of it burnt. We've had some close calls in Canada. We had a town, Lytton, that completely burnt up 2 years ago. But certainly California interface fires, we still haven't got a lot of experience in Canada with the nature of some of those fires, right? But what we're seeing, someone, Soylent Green here is commenting, "Hi, Frankie, I'm Joy. I'm getting super concerned about the lack of precipitation here in the mountains between Kamloops and Savinaw. There's no snow." And this is what we're looking at again for next year, right? We're looking at the possibility of more of these California-like fire seasons where things are drying out and the fire behavior is behaving like you would expect to see in places further south. And the BC interior is, some believe, as I do, that there's somewhat of a desertification process happening in which that dry belt of the interior is enlarging itself, and fire is the weapon that is making that happen. Nice talking with Sean. We haven't talked to Imogen yet. There's our associate producer down there in Victoria, British Columbia. How's your weather been so far this week, Imogen? And please tell us about your calendar.
It's been scattered clouds, slightly damp, slightly sunny, scattered sunshine. That's the magic of a tropical island in the winter. It's pretty scattered and doesn't make a lot of sense. So that's what we've been doing all week. We've got it's going to be maybe hitting 10 degrees if we're lucky, and just a hair above zero. So we might get a little bit of frost happening late at night. Hooray for winter. I get it. Y'all get snow. We get boredom. So that's what's going on here for weather.
We have near zero visibility fog in the Caribou North Quesnel area right now. So there is that. But you're looking at, you'd be happy for a plus 10. We do not break zero this week here in Wells. Zero is the highest we get to, 0 degrees Celsius.
So that means you win. Ah.
No, that means I lose. No, I moved to the mountains. I knew what I was getting myself into. So, Imogen, talk to us about the calendars. You got the pinup girl calendar going on.
Yeah, I just released the 2024 calendar, wall calendar, desktop, wherever you want to cram it. Seems more fitting in a garage for real, though. So there's a whole lot of beach adventures in there, all sorts of bikini stuff, a couple of classic cars floating through, and pinup style, because that's my jam. Mostly pinup style. Yeah. So that's available on my website, www.imogen.in. So if you need a cheesy calendar full of a girl, there you go. That's where you find it. And that's what it is.
There's just one girl?
Just me. It's all my stuff.
And what are you
All
wearing
my
in April? That's my birthday month.
Well, okay, there's a lot of cool beaches around here, and I got some stuff from Miami. I got some stuff from, I think, Seattle, from somewhere up island as well, somewhere in like the lower mainland. I went to all sorts of places. It was a fun year. There are a lot of adventures, and when you're surrounded by water, you appreciate the water and dress for it.
Do you ever do that thing when you're buying a new calendar and you go to your birthday month and you're like, it's like the worst picture in the calendar. And then you put it back on the shelf because it's your birthday month isn't the rocking photo.
It's not the one that you were hoping for. It's not as awesome as you were hoping. So one of the little, because like I did all of the layout for it, I put it together, I built it, I put a little Easter egg in there, and I will ruin the surprise on this one. See, I'm a huge Married with Children fan, and in Married with Children lore, on the date that Al Bundy scored 4 touchdowns in a single game, I put it on the calendar. So
nice.
So that's in there. So when you're flipping through 1 month, it'll have that on a little thing. So for anyone who doesn't know the show, I hope they go on Google and look it up and discover the magic of the greatest TV show ever created. That's right.
Yeah. There you go.
That was my little nod to greatness.
No, I think it's cool. Like I got, you can see up on top of, I got the Frankie bobblehead up there. It's on top of the voodoo skull. And that is how we get Frankie to do our bidding.
That's right. He's a voodoo
And,
guy.
and I got his book. I got Frankie's book, and if Brandon had merch still going, I'd want some of his too. Because I like to represent. So it's like, you look at my house, I got 100 Star Wars ships hanging. I got action figures, the kids' toys. A lot of them are on display around the house rather than in their room. This is, you wouldn't believe this place. It's a bizarre home I got. So having things like my friends' calendars, and this last week, I got my friend Chris Walter sent me his book, SNFU, what no one else wanted to say. So that was pretty sweet. And he signed it. And Alan McInnes sent me Clear Cut movie on Blu-ray. So that's sweet. So it's like I like getting presents. I like having. I'm a collector kind of guy. I like keepsakes, like my friends' stuff. So it's like people are like, what's your favorite band? What do you like? It's like, well, actually, I like outlaw country, and I like thrash punk rock. And people are like, oh, like what kind of bands? And I'm like, you don't know them. Because most of the bands I listen to and like are bands that we played with, are my friends' bands, are, maybe you've heard of Dayglow Abortions, but it's like a lot of bands, if you're not in the punk scene, you're not going to know who they are. If you're not in the outlaw country scene, you don't know who Andrew Neville or Tim Huss is, probably, right? Like the guys I like.
Tim Huss is.
Of course you know who Tim Huss is. Tim's awesome.
I just found it out tomorrow night's Bass Guys show at 10 p.m. Atlantic, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific.
Did you really just find that out, Frankie?
Bass Guy told me that.
I don't know if you just found that out. How's Bass Guy doing?
He's doing great so far. Tomorrow night is his show.
What kind of things do you do on the show?
He talks about the weather in Montreal and things like this. And it talks about he plays his own music and things like this. On Bass Guy show, he plays the bass guitar.
How long have you been on Jack's show?
A long time.
Years? Yeah.
Since 2016. And I got something to say. Bass Guy's best friend Patches ordered a new laptop. You have to pick it up tomorrow when he gets off work.
Nice. Well, Jack, he's a really good guy. He is. And Frankie really loves him. And that's why we support Bass Guy. Jack Casey, he's a good guy, good musician, good human being, good friend of Frankie. So we're okay with that kind of stuff around
Right
here.
on. That's right.
We haven't talked to Hilding yet either, have we, Hilding? Hilding, how are the cows?
Well, today was the first day I had to give hay bales to the cows. They finally nibbled down their pasture enough and it's not growing, but we still don't have any snow. So I might have to start hauling them water tomorrow, which isn't so nice. Other than that, things are just, it's just like the winter was put on pause here. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
It's,
Yes, I do. Your bandwidth's kind of low, so you're sort of Hilding, and more so than myself even lives out. You kind of live in the middle of nowhere. I mean, you could say Joey lives more in the middle of nowhere, except there's a town here of 200 people, but we have services. So here's the thing: is I spent all week just hanging out with my puppy. As you know, I got a new puppy, and he's awesome. He's really awesome. He's sleeping over there on the couch right now. He's totally passed out. Yeah, he's a really good little dog. I'm totally stoked on him. I don't know if I was as stoked when I got him as maybe I should have been. Now that I realize the quality of dog, so he's a little miniature red heeler. He's going to be 25 pounds or 30 pounds or something like that. Not a big dog, and he's just smart as anything. He's just eager to please, and he loves to snuggle. He just loves snuggling. So I've been just hanging out with him, and I kind of haven't gone on Facebook. I haven't really been. I haven't been paying attention to anything on the news that's less than 70 years old. Like I've been watching lots of history content. Yesterday I was watching a 3-hour-long documentary about the Plantagenets dynasty in England. It's wintertime in Wells. Joey is diving into factual knowledge.
All the
spare
good
time,
stuff.
and cuddling with puppies.
Yeah, sounds good. I see you got a bass hanging in the corner there. Do I see that?
Yeah, there's my 5 strings there.
Yeah.
It's there. Over on this side is the telly.
Oh yeah,
That was my show guitar that
yeah.
in all my years of the Joey Only Outlaw band. And there's the painting Travis Sharuk made of me. So that's up here. That is the coyotelope. It's a coyote dinosaur thing. And what was I looking at? Anyways, the drum kit's over there.
Nice.
And, there's a laundry thing on the ground there in front of it, and a panda head. But in behind that's the drum kit and a bunch of acoustics hanging. And over there, those things are called books. You read
This is my short scale bass.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it's
like guitar neck length.
Yeah, it's an Epiphone. It's what you call it. I keep thinking of Woody Allen, but it's Alan Woody. He was the bass player.
You don't want to think of Woody Allen, no. Yeah.
Yeah, it's no, but Alan Woody was the bass player for the Allman Brothers. So it's I like the short scale. It was hard to get strings for. Because the guy at the store sold me the wrong strings, so I had to take them back, and I had to order a set.
I got the 5-string bass back there, Frank MacDonald Sr. And what I like about the 5-string bass is I was a bass player first. That was my first instrument.
Yeah.
I was like, I want a guitar, Mom. I want a guitar. And she's like, okay, here's a right-handed bass. And I was like, okay, you're going to learn how to play right-handed, son. And thank goodness she did that, so that now any guitar I pick up, I can play, not be like my weird left-handed friends. Your weird left-handed friends. But what I like about the 5-string bass, I don't care about going into that low register necessarily so much. But what I like about it is instead of playing like this up the neck, I can go like this. You know what I mean? Yeah. And if you pick your strings
be up on the
right,
8th
you can
fret.
get
a bigger string on that 5th string, right?
I can be playing up like on the 8th fret line and access all those low notes and those high notes, so I can do all my playing in one location without having to move up and down the neck.
Yeah, well,
That's
when
why I
I
like the
bought mine,
5-string bass.
I just changed the original strings. I bought it with the G string as a heavier string, and I really like it because yeah, I do, because I get more of. I like to go down there a lot, right? And
You want to go down there by the heavy G string.
Oh yeah, man. Well, if it's a little heavier, right, it gives me a little more tone than just dying out, right? It's just boom.
Certainly, I'm playing my Telecaster, having the G string was the one I broke like every show.
No.
From the way I chicken picked my country music, I would just snap that friggin' thing every time.
And this is the Epiphone.
Well, that's nice.
The hollow body. Yeah. She's a beast, man.
That's kind of like the one I got over in the far corner. If you can see hanging on the wall. Almost the same guitar. So there you go. Showing guitars off. That's what kind of show we're having.
Well, you know, when I was buying the guitar, I actually picked up Gibson Les Paul because everybody wants to have one of those, or I thought I wanted one. And then I played the guitar sitting down a lot, recording, and it's too small. Like it didn't feel.
Yeah.
It might feel right hanging on a strap, but this the bigger body profile and the hollow body is makes it a little lighter, and I love the tone of it. It's a nice sounding guitar.
Oh, people be like, "Hey, would you like to buy this Gibson Les Paul?" And I said, "I don't need it.
No,
I got a Telecaster."
Especially when you look in the hanging on the music store now, and they're like $5,000.
I got a Telecaster, man. What do I need a Les Paul for?
Well, I mean, you got a nice Telecaster too.
That's part of it, yeah.
No, I'd like to have some nice guitars, you know, like maybe buy one of Eric Clapton's or David Gilmour's, like one of those guys. Like I like unique. One of my favorite guitar players actually is Lindsey Buckingham from Fleetwood Mac.
Right.
I think he's got a real unique style. He doesn't use a pick, and I like people that are original, that are just different, right?
Well, you know, if you look at the cast of characters here on the show, I could argue there's evidence that I am much the same.
Well, you let me on, didn't you?
Yeah. Everybody here is
your proof.
Unique. We all are.
That's right. That's what's good about us all.
I think every one of us, except Imogen, were people that, for a lot of our lives, they looked at and said, "What's wrong with you?" Except Imogen. No one said that about her. Oh. She was the one shaking her head saying, "What's wrong with you?"
I guess Frankie MacDonald's got to go to work in the morning, eh?
Yes, and tomorrow night, Space Guys show at 10 p.m. Atlantic, 9 p.m. Eastern.
A busy
day tomorrow. Are you back working in the mall, Frankie?
And there's our Cape Breton Eagles facing against Halifax Mooseheads at 7 p.m. tomorrow as well.
Wow. Busy day.
Are you back working in the mall, Frankie?
Yeah, since September 2022. And a couple of weeks before Hurricane Fiona struck Sydney, Nova Scotia, I had no power for a week.
What kind of things do you do at the mall?
Clean floors and windows and things like this. Then tomorrow night, I'll be on Base Guy Show at 10 p.m. Atlantic, 9 p.m. Eastern. That's Base Guy's time.
Yeah, you tell Jack we say hi there at the Base Guy Show. For sure. Has anyone got anything? Anyone got anything?
Anything?
It's that time of the show. Anyone got anything?
Oh, I got something here. So, did you know? This is the strangest facts, by the way. We're going through the strangest facts. So this stuff is all strange. So cockroaches are so repulsed by humans that if they're touched by a human, not only that they run away, but then they wash themselves too.
Cockroaches are repulsed by humans?
Yeah. So don't touch one.
Wow. That makes you put everything in perspective, doesn't it?
Hello.
I used to have a tarantula who was really put off by human skin. So if you tried to handle her, you pick her up or you put her on your arm to walk around, do a little tarantula, have a little tarantula time. as soon as she touched human skin, she'd do this little leg flick thing. Like she just go ew, 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 ew. So as she's walking, trying to get off of you, every leg in this little circular motion around this little hairy little spider is just ew, 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 ew. And as soon as she was off, she would groom. She'd get on anything except human skin and immediately start grooming.
Unbelievable. So yeah, that's what you think. Like when the aliens finally visit Earth, and we'll be like, they'll be looking at us like thinking that we're disgusting, even though they have 17 eyeballs.
Why do they have 17 eyeballs?
Because some aliens do somewhere. There's 2 trillion galaxies, man. There's an alien with 17 eyeballs that would think that we're ugly.
See, I thought it just meant that he poked a couple out, and that's why it was only 17.
Oh yeah, it was. You should be 20. You mean? Yeah.
Exactly.
3 dead and 3 are missing after a landslide has ripped through an Alaska remote fishing community. So that was news up there in Alaska this week. Meanwhile, severe storms in Turkey have left 9 dead. 11 are missing after a cargo ship has sunk in the Black Sea. So UN report says world is racing past warming limit as carbon emissions rise instead of plunge. And speaking of such, fires in Brazil threaten jaguars, houses, and plants.
Yeah, I guess there was a tornado that happened yesterday and damaged some avocado crops in Mexico there. So.
Really?
Yes. And then
So
Imogen
the price
will like
of
this
avocados
one.
might go up, as well as the price of sugar. Sugar prices rising worldwide after bad weather tied to El Nino damaged crops in Asia.
So Imogen will like this strange fact here. So in Switzerland, you can hire a clown to stalk someone for 7 days. The clown will follow them around, set up traps, send scary text messages, and even smash a pie in their face if he catches them.
That might not work out for everybody.
I guess not. No.
So
Only works in Switzerland. Yeah.
You can hire a clown to stalk someone.
Yeah.
And this is not a new service, by the way. I want to throw this out there. This has been around for a little while there. This is not a brand new novelty thing that popped up in light of the movie It, but it is a thing that's been going on for a bit.
I'm just going to warn you. You send a clown to stalk me, I'm going to beat the snot out of it.
Oh, I was kind of thinking that too, but I'm trying not to think that way, but it could happen.
Well, because they had Man Tracker. Man Tracker came up here to Wells, right? You know the show Man Tracker. This happened.
Yes. Yeah. He's been to Brooks a few times.
Yeah, we talked about this on the show before. And so Man Tracker came to Wells. And of course, they had people from Vancouver that Man Tracker was tracking out in the wilderness here. And people were like kind of laughing. Locals are saying, of course they don't have you local guys out there. You know your way around the mountains and stuff. And I said, yeah. The first thing you do is the cameraman who's following you around, you hit him with a stick and tie him to a tree. Then you set up punji stakes and booby traps along the trail, and then you lure Man Tracker down a trail so that the punji stakes either wound him or the horse or both. If you can, bash him with a stone repeatedly and take his horse. Anyways, so they wouldn't let locals go on.
No. It sounds like a plan, though, to take them out. That's for sure.
They thought we know our way around the mountains. It's not just that we know our way around the mountains. It's that we're mountain people.
That's right.
If you put us out there to win, Man Tracker ain't coming home.
No. He only wants to play if he's going to win. That's.
Yeah, he's tied up out there, covered in honey, with grizzly bears sniffing him. But yeah, the first thing you got to do is you got to take your cameraman out. He gives you away all the time. You're hiding in the bush, and then your cameraman's next to you, trying to get a nice shot of Man Tracker, and the Man Tracker's like, "Hey, I wonder if he's over there."
Yeah.
So first thing you must do is punish the cameraman for daring to come with you. So yeah, they don't put mountain people in those kind of shows.
No. They got to be careful what they do.
Yeah, got to be careful what they do, right, Frankie?
Yes, they got to be careful themselves.
Yeah. It's like the show Cash Cab. You got to wonder how many people that are intoxicated get in the taxi, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can take a risk.
No, well, you never know. How come I didn't win?
Yeah, because people have been drinking. They know everything.
That's right.
And I can tell you that because I haven't drank in years and I don't know anything anymore. Like, wow, reality really hit. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
I'm in my mid-40s, and for the first time I see clearly that I don't know anything, even though I'm smarter than everyone around me. That's so sad. Okay. Any last words this week, friends?
And that means if you want to find me on social media, my Twitter is @FrankieMacD. My Facebook is Frankie MacDonald. My Instagram is FrankieMacD984. My TikTok is FrankDonald984. My Clapper is FrankDonald984. My Twitch is FrankDonald984. My Snapchat is FrankieMacDon. My YouTube channel is Dogs Wolves, and my LinkedIn is Frankie Donald. And my Blue Sky is @FrankieMacD. And my LinkedIn is Frankie MacDonald. And my link tree is Frankie MacDonald as well. Best luck, y'all. Frankie Donald. You listen to Joey Only Show.
That was Frankie MacDonald. And also with him tonight is Frank MacDonald Sr., his dad. So we were talking music with Frank MacDonald Sr. Real nice to see you again. Come on, anytime you like.
Yep.
He's
And,
coming up with new ideas. He's coming up with new ideas. Making music and things like this. He writes his own lyrics.
Making music
All
and
the
things like
time.
this. We also had Sean from Wyoming pop in, and really nice to meet him. Same thing. Yeah, you tell Sean he can come on anytime he wants, Frankie. So there's not a whole lot of rules here, and I generally don't even have a plan. We just sort of turn on the cameras and let's talk. That's what we do. So
Improvise.
that's the Franks, and then we have Brandon Hauk out there in Brooks, Alberta. That's a place in Alberta.
Oh yes. Berta.
Berta. There's Brooks, Berta, down there by Calgary. And you don't say Calgary, you don't say Brooks.
Say Calgary. Yes.
You don't say Brooks if you're from Brooks either. Brooks.
Brooks. That's right.
All right. And then we got Imogen. She's down there in Victoria. And if you're from Victoria, you call it Victoria.
Yeah.
Then got a whole lot of rain heading for Victoria, British Columbia later on in November. And late next week and December is going to bring a whole lot of rain and stormy weather in Imogen's hometown, Victoria.
Well, I
And
hope
if
so.
you're-
We got to water
if you're
the
in-
forest.
And if you're in Grassy Plains where Hilding is, what you say is, I didn't know I was on your property, man. And if you have to offer money, whatever it takes to make the confrontation stop, just out there in Grassy Plains, that's cowboy country out there. Man Tracker probably shouldn't.
Shouldn't go there. No.
Not against Hilding Donaldson, no.
No.
No, Hilding's actually a much more passive person than I am. I'm a warrior. That's why I love fire season, because I love making war. Sorry, it's part of who I am. I'm a very loving, gentle person. But
And the Grassy Plains where Hilding is that they get forest fires there in the summer.
yeah, I fought some fires pretty close to Hilding this year. Not that close, but I was in Fraser Lake. From the top of the mountain, we could kind of see out towards Hilding's direction.
Unlike the fires that Frankie started during the summer.
Frankie, what was with that?
They cause a lot of fires because of dry weather, lightning, and things like this.
It wasn't because of you, was it, Frankie?
It was Frankie throwing lightning bolts. He was whipping them around like some kind of Greek god. The Greek god we know he is in disguise.
Zeus.
What? Yeah.
Like Thor.
Zeus.
So it's good to see you. Good to see you back in your home, Frankie. That whole stealing the internet thing. I don't know.
It was high winds and heavy rain in Sydney, Nova Scotia earlier.
Yeah, I guess you don't want to be outside stealing internet in that kind of way.
No, I wasn't.
You just had to borrow a cup of internet.
A cup of internet.
Yep, that's how we roll. On that note, y'all have been watching the Comedeorological Report on Shaw Spotlight for Vancouver Island. Continue.
Good one. Yes, that's a good call. On C for 88.7, CKUW 959, CFBX 925, Shaw Spotlight, Vancouver Island. Thank you, Imogen. That's why she's getting the big bucks.
Send me an air car and I'll be happy.
Yeah. That's why I'll buy her calendar. Send her the big bucks. So, okay.
A lot of work.
What do you think, Frankie?
And that's the show.
That's the show. Okay, bye, everybody.